Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we're covering everything I've learned over the last couple of years around how to grow and build a YouTube channel. So I talk to a lot of people that follow this channel or have their own channels about YouTube, and I get a lot of good advice about what to do with YouTube, and I give some advice to other people that are either starting up their own channels or kind of thinking of starting up their own channels. Over the course of doing this for 2 years, anybody that does it, you will learn a lot. You start off knowing very little and kind of researching, and then you start doing it, and over that process of doing it, creating content and dropping it, you get a little bit more savvy about how kind of YouTube works and what you need to do. This video is going to cover a lot of very important points that if you're thinking of starting up a YouTube channel, no matter what the subject area is, that will help you grow that channel, make it healthy, get the subscription numbers coming in, get the view counts reasonable, and ultimately, you know, make your channel generate revenue, which is something that is an important part of having a YouTube channel as well. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. So before we go into all of the things about how to make your channel grow, if you're watching this and you don't have a YouTube channel at the moment, the first thing you're going to need to do is create your channel on YouTube, give your channel a name, and decide what your channel content is going to be about. There are 1,000,001 different types of YouTube channels. You could take the hobbyist approach like we do on this channel, where we talk about something that I'm passionate in, detailing. You could do it on cars generally, you could do it on photography, it could be a vlog style thing. There are 1,000,001 different areas that you could pitch your YouTube channel to cover. That's the first thing you need to decide, and I can't advise you on that. You will be the guy that has a particular interest, a guy or girl, and you need to decide on what you are going to feature on your YouTube channel. When you do that, the most important thing is to let your viewers know what your channel is all about in the description, and with some of those backdrop pictures, you know, your thumbnails and stuff that you put on YouTube. Make it clear when people go to your channel what it is all about. That is your foundation. Name it, use some nice pictures, and then you're ready to start dropping content. So you have your YouTube channel created and you are ready now to start gathering footage up and putting content out. The first thing, the whole area of video, audio and editing, you need to spend your time before you start producing content in researching video, audio and editing, so that you can produce reasonably high quality. Now that the camera technology has come along such a way that you can buy reasonably inexpensive equipment and get good quality footage. Without it, you're going to be dead in the water on your channel. If you're trying to do it from a smartphone, you know, and it's shaking all over the place, and you've got poor quality audio, it's going to affect the growth of your channel. So research it. Think about what you're doing with your particular channel. If it's a vlog style and your primary recording device is going to need to be highly portable and quick to set up, or if you're going to be doing kind of more stationary stuff, static stuff like me, a DSLR might be kind of more your thing. Budget is going to play a big factor in this, and learning how to use the equipment will come as you kind of get hold of the equipment. But before you start, invest in good video. I use a Canon 750D, which has some real limitations, but was incredibly good value for money. And you can see the quality of the audio here is reasonable. Yeah, sorry, the quality of the video is reasonable. That's the first thing. The audio as well is massively important. Poor audio puts people off straight away. You have a lot of options, and people will be using Lavelle mics and syncing up and dubbing the audio. I use a Rode Video Pro mic because it gives me the freedom of being able to move around when I'm sort of doing detailing stuff. So that would be my recommendation. If you're on a real tight budget and you're not doing sort of mobile vlog stuff, then an entry-level Canon DSLR with a Rode Video Pro mic will get you started. That is a really good tip. The other thing, like I mentioned, is a lot of people will be doing more vlog style stuff, and trying to hold a DSLR in front of you doesn't work, and the DSLRs don't handle motion, them being moved as well. No, you know, lots of cameras don't like that. So that's point number one. Research video, audio, and your post-production editing will be very important. You'll need to invest in a good piece of editing software. I use I use Sony Vegas Pro because we had a copy of it in the family. A lot of people use Adobe Premiere. You will need to familiarize yourself with the sort of video editing process. You'll learn it as you go. Start off basic, get nice transitions. You can use your overlay shots to kind of hide your transitions. Try and put in as much overlay as you can so you're not just static filming like I am in this video to make it more interesting. You will learn lots of this as you do it, but they are the foundation for making your YouTube channel watchable, which is very, very important. Point number two, creating popular searchable content is going to have a huge bearing on the success of your channel. If I was going to feature, you know, do 2 videos tomorrow, and one video was on the JML Super Deluxe multi-purpose car cleaner that no one's ever heard of, it's going to get less views than if I feature the most popular kind of widespread used product. Now, when you're starting a channel up, you have no leverage really. You're going to have 0 subscribers. That's going to put you way down in the YouTube algorithms of what is found. So the more searchable content you can do, the more it is going to help your channel get found organically, if you like, just through people searching on YouTube. When you create your content, it is very important to do keyword optimization, which is something it took me about a year to realize that was important. So what I do with any channel, say it's, you know, how to clean your windscreen on a car, you know, God blimey, it's a boring old channel this is. But whatever the content is, you search for it. So say I'm doing this video now on how to grow a YouTube channel. I would go to my keyword search engine, and there's a free one that I'll put a link to in the description, and I'd put in the title YouTube, and I'd see what people are searching on with regards to YouTube, and probably the #1 thing is going to be how to grow a YouTube channel, and I'll look at what the most popular things are and put those in the keywords in the keyword description box of the channel when you're dropping the content. That will help get your video noticed, as well as the choice of wording you use in the title. So try and do content which is popular within your channel's particular theme or remit, whatever you're covering. A good way, if you don't have an idea on what is searchable popular content within your theme, you know, because it might take some time to know what's popular, is to look at what other channels are doing, channels that have been around for years and years and years. Go onto YouTube, go to their channel homepage, go to video, and then change the list of how you display the videos into most popular, and look at the top 10 most popular videos they're doing, and then look at the top 10 of what other channels are doing. And you will get an idea from that of the sort of content which people are searching for. You could do that on my channel right now, and you see the most popular thing is what is a snow foam, because most people get into detailing by seeing cars covered in this white stuff, and they want to know what it is, so they'll go on YouTube and say how to snow foam a car. So that video would be like 100 times more popular than me doing a very obscure, unsearchable video. Every time you create a video, you create a little footprint or a net, and that net, if you like, is scooping up views from people that are out there searching things. So the bigger the nets, the more popular the words that you're searching for, the more people will find your content, the more likely they are to subscribe. And then obviously the more content you drop, the more nets you are putting out, till when you know, a few years down the line, when you've got hundreds of videos on your channel, you have all these nets that are bringing in existing views and scooping up new views and bringing people to your channel. So searchable popular content using keyword optimization is very important, and you really need to think about that, do some research on it, and make sure that your content is searchable, and that will help your channel grow. So we're now at the stage where you have your YouTube channel, it's named, you know what you're going to be doing, you've researched your video and audio and editing, and you have a view on what videos you're going to be making for the next few months that are going to be searchable and popular. So you will now start off on your journey on YouTube, recording and dropping content. And if you've just done those first few things that we've talked about up there and I've written on the board, your channel will grow. And the better you get at doing those, the faster it will grow. We're now going to cover some other things that will help your channel grow a lot quicker. Okay, these are some basic things. Collaboration, very important when you're starting a YouTube channel. There'll be other channels out there that have got an audience, that have got footprint. And by working with those channels, you can almost instantly kind of double your footprint or your reach. So for example, if I have 10,000 subscribers and I collaborate with another guy who's done 10,000 subscribers and his 10,000 subscribers are different to mine, which is important, I can suddenly reach his audience and he can reach mine by collaborating. So just by working with other people, and it's a fun thing to do. It's one of the most fun things to do and will give you a lot of enjoyment working with other people. So collaborating will be very important when you start off to reach out and sort of lever other audiences and vice versa. If you don't have an audience when you start up, then it's harder sort of to attract collaboration. You know, if you're approaching a guy with 1 million subscribers and you've got 3 subscribers, he's less likely to want to work with you. But you can get around that by kind of, so you can't offer him kind of audience, but you might be able to offer something else. So like with detailing, you could find a channel that's got like, you know, 50,000 subscribers and it's to do with car care. And, you know, it's got a sort of vague link to detailing, and you could offer to go and detail their car and film it. And then he's, you know, that channel's getting something back in return, getting a nice clean car, and then they'll be happy to promote your service. So think about how you can collaborate with other people and what you can offer them to get that collaboration in place, even when your channel's small, and that will make a huge difference. The next thing which is going to help grow your channel in terms of making your content better is people are, when they're going to your channel and looking in, they're getting a view into your world. For example, if you're doing a makeup kind of, you know, you get a lot of these women's boutique-y kind of hair and beauty channels, millions of them, and the savvy ones will create like a little space of their house and they'll set it all up. They'll have a nice little shelf there or little kind of backdrop with all these products laid out. They'll have, you know, their kind of channel logo in the background, nice lighting, you know, a little potted plant somewhere. Now try and create this nice studio environment that you want to be part of. You know, the flip side to that is just shooting it in your living room and you've got all your makeup and nail varnish. Not that I do that, you know, this is a man's channel, detailing one. But you imagine if you're just seeing a sort of horrible angle of their living room with floor and, you know, kids' toys on the floor and it all messy, you are much less likely to tune in and take it seriously. So try and create an environment that looks professional and will draw people in. I don't do it particularly well on this channel. You know, I'm gonna look at improving that as part of the learning process. So my attempt at doing it is sometimes I fire up the old TV and I'll put like a backdrop running on there, although you don't see it very often, or typically I'll just get some detailing products out in the background to make it look a little bit kind of more interesting. But it's an important thing to do. Try and make each shot appealing is the word, and having a base, like a headquarters that of your world that people see is going to also play a part in growing your channel. The next thing, very important, thumbnails. When people search for content, they will get presented in YouTube with a list of thumbnails of all the various videos that have been pulled up from that particular search, and as well as the description of the video and that sort of stuff. But the thumbnails and the little pictures are what they watch. So by producing very good quality thumbnails, your videos will get picked, you know, in the crowd of videos that are being presented. It's a very important thing, and I've sort of started improving the way I'm doing my thumbnails recently, and I can see it's making a little bit of a difference. If you're featuring a particular product, then take a high quality camera still or picture of it, and then use editing effects to put in nice consistent font graphics that are large and can be seen, are not blocked by the little YouTube kind of watched symbol that appears over there. So put them in the top right or the bottom left is a good little tip. Have a look at those thumbnails and look at them and see that they look right, and if they don't, do them again. Get all your thumbnails looking really good. If you're doing a travel YouTube video and you're going to an exotic place, get a lovely picture of it for your thumbnail, and then get the key message of what the video is all about, you know, in font on that particular picture. And have a look at it and be critical. You know, lots of people realise that, you know, they need to do thumbnails with wording on them, but they don't always get it right. So try and get it looking quite sexy and professional, you know, and I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to improve. You'll build up your own little technique of doing it, but view your thumbnails with a critical eye and try and get them looking really, really nice. Good little tip is to, you know, black and white. That's what I do recently, is I put everything in black and white. If I'm featuring this particular product here, I take a really nice steal of it, and then I'll put all the background in black and white, and then I'll have this in colour, and then I'll have the lettering up next to it, and try and do a nice picture. And that, like I say, that will make a big difference in drawing people into your video as opposed to the other videos that were there. The next bullet point, regular drops. So YouTube, I believe, if you dump a video on there that's highly popular, YouTube, I think, stagnates the revenue that you get for that, and the searchability of that video via age. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think YouTube likes new, fresh content and likes you putting on new content. So it's important that you do regular drops and your audience kind of know that you're doing regular drops. If I was dropping content once every 2 or 3 months, and I'd been doing that, you know, since I started the channel 2 years ago, I'd have a fraction of the amount of subscribers that I do. I try and drop a video at least once a week, maybe twice a week, depends how long they are. Important to always let your audience know that you're kind of active and putting content out there, and that will make them more likely to stay interested. So regular YouTube drops is important. The next thing, video length. So this channel is woeful at kind of sticking to the video length rules. You'll get stats on the videos that you produce and the content, and you'll see how long people are watching them for. And you'll probably start discovering that your audience has a sort of attention span of between 7 and 15 minutes. So really you should be mindful of that and produce content that you can deliver within that time frame. Like I say, I fail on that miserably, but I'm more mindful of the fact that I do need to do it if I want to kind of grow the channel larger. So I'm kind of looking to improve on that all the time and slowly getting there. So video length and pace is quite important. The next thing is asking for people to subscribe. So I do, you know, I always find this a bit cheesy. I hate doing dialogue where I say, please subscribe to this video, because I just don't like it. I feel like a dirty used car salesman. Not there's anything wrong with selling cars. But the way I generally do it now is I just have a little message at the end of each video saying, please subscribe, and one after the introduction. And I keep a watermark in all my videos, which is one thing you should Google how to do, putting watermarks in with a subscription button, so that all the time it's there, so that if people do want to subscribe, it reminds them and they can just go and click on it easily, and that will make a difference. I mean, how far you want to go with it is up to you. You know, the more you ask people to subscribe, the more likely they are to remember to do it. But there's a balancing act with everything, so you could do whatever you feel appropriate's there, but my suggestion is do it in a sort of subtle way, so it doesn't look like you're kind of desperate for people to subscribe. And I think if you do that, people will come along and subscribe. So perhaps the polite way is to let people know the benefits of subscribing, what they're going to get, that they will get when you're producing content that is relevant to them. They will get a little notification, so they'll be able to follow the channel and get the information nicer. So if you're going to ask, that might be a good little context to kind of wrap it up in. So that's the whole asking for subscription bullet point, which is also another important thing. The next bullet point on how you can grow your YouTube channel, and this is utilizing yourself, which sounds a bit vague and sounds a bit wishy-washy, but it's actually very important. The example I would give you is one guy contacted me and he wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I think he did start it, but he didn't want to appear in the video, he didn't want his voice in the video, and he didn't want any dialogue, him talking to camera, and he didn't even want to appear in any of the shots. And so he started his kind of channel up, and it had footage, you know, of car kind of detailing stuff, and it was, you know, it'd be lots of sped up footage, and then footage of cleaning particular things, and then the video would end. And you're missing, if you do that, you're missing a very important aspect, which is your kind of personality. Now, that doesn't mean to say like you're amazing. You know, I don't think I'm amazing and people are interested in me at all. But just on a very basic kind of human level, when you're talking, people are kind of getting your personality, and you know, they might relate to you. You're giving more to the channel by doing dialogue pieces with yourself and having yourself appearing in the video, and you're creating things that people will laugh at, you know, and might find funny. You know, I get a lot of comments because my trousers are kind of hanging around my ankles and you can see my boxer shorts sticking out, and it's just little human things like that that people find funny. So I would, if you're doing any sort of content that isn't necessarily a vlog style and might be on a particular subject area, get yourself in front of that camera. It's horrible at first, but you'll get used to it after a while, and it almost feels normal, which is very strange, but you'll get used to sitting there talking and staring in the camera, and people, you will add stuff to your channel by you being there. Try and speak clearly, try and speak slowly, and try and speak coherently is a good bit of advice, so people can kind of understand what you're putting across. The flip side, of course, of utilising yourself and you know, having that kind of relationship with your audience is that for any personality type, whether you're a kind of witty guy or a bit of a joker, or you're high energy or low energy, cool and calm, no matter what the personality type, for that personality type there will be a hater for it, and you will get the odd troll bullet flying over your head. You need to you know, have thick skin if you're going to have a YouTube channel, and if you're going to get offended by kind of people having a pop at you, then it's probably not for you. Saying that, you know, if you're not too kind of out there, you know, you're not too bonkers or anything, you're relatively normal, then you're not going to get that much shtick. And in fact, most of the criticism that comes through on this channel are actually, you know, the people put it across very nicely, and you can have very good conversations with him about, if you know, differences of kind of experiences and opinions, and that's part of the fun side. Since starting this channel, I've 2 years, we're close to 1 million views now, and I think I've had to ban or hide about 20 users from the channel, and over half of those have been the old kind of spam bots that whenever I put video out, I get some spam porno link, you know, with some thumbnail of some woman saying I love you. You know, you're always going to have a quick look, do a bit of the old YouTube what's it called, YouTube stalking, and then ban them anyway. But you've got to be prepared to that if you're going to be doing a YouTube channel, and not worry about it too much. The main important thing is to utilize yourself as a person and put across how you are and your personality in that video. My little tip on this, and this is going into areas that I probably don't need to go into, is try and be reasonably relaxed and try and just talk normally rather than going bananas, you know, in front of the camera. Although some massive channels have got guys and girls that are bananas, and people like that, so it's horses for courses. But the way I do it is I just try and stay calm and talk to you as if I'm having a normal kind of conversation. That's my approach. Okay, so that's the utilising yourself subject. So now we have covered all of the sort of basic things that I think you need to do in order to grow a channel, have a healthy channel that's growing subscription and growing views, that keeps you interested and motivated. Next thing I want to talk about is some of the financial sides and the monetization options you have there, and how you can actually generate revenue with your YouTube channel. So first up, you obviously, once you've created content, you need to monetize that, and YouTube turn that off by default. So you have to set up monetizing and enable each individual video for monetizing, and then you will get revenue generated on the people that view it and click on the adverts and all that sort of stuff. And each month you'll receive a little payment from Google Island, and that will come into your bank account. Of course, you have to declare that as income on your tax returns. If you do not, they will catch up with you, so don't try anything dodgy. Declare that on your tax returns and you'll be fine. And by growing your channel, you will grow your YouTube revenue. They say 1 million views is like £1,000. It's not, it's better than that. I'd say 1 million views is probably closer to £2,000 or £3,000, I think. I'm guessing there. But you know, obviously the more views you can get on your channel, the more revenue you'll make. And by doing all these things we've got up there on the board, you'll help grow that revenue. Now, the next things, the YouTube revenue is, lots of people criticise it because it is quite low. You've got to do a hell of a lot of work for a small amount of revenue, and it is true. But then again, when you get a large channel, you actually find that you are making a good amount of money from the YouTube revenue, and you can almost just keep doing your regular drops to maintain that. So there's positives and negatives, but you will get a view from doing this on how much money you'll generate from YouTube revenue, and your first view will be like, oh my god. When you start, you get stuck at like 0.03 cents for the first 6 months, and you think, oh, this ain't ever going to make me money. But it does creep up, and it does become worth doing. The next most kind of common way of increasing your revenue or generating revenue through your channel is affiliate links. So we've been doing that about a year on this channel. When I started out, I didn't even know about this or that you could do it, and I got a lot of good advice off people, you know, telling me a little bit more about how you go about it. What I would do when I first started the channel is I'd feature a product from a company, and it might be just the one that appeared first in Google when I'm searching for it, and I would approach that company and say, look, I'm featuring this product and I want to put a link for you in there, you know, as the provider, and it's going to help generate some sales, you know, significant sales as well. It's going to really, you know, it's good content for me, and it will help you guys. And a lot of them wouldn't even reply to me, even if I sent the email 2 or 3 times, or I'd ask them on Messenger or whatever. And it didn't used to bother me. I just think they're busy, you know, and I'd give them the link anyway. So I'd do the video, give them the link to a company that wasn't interested in working with the channel. And then the more you do this, you'd sort of establish relationships with other kind of companies and stuff like that. So now what I do is if I'm featuring a product and there's no affiliate link or Amazon link, that's the affiliate that everyone uses, if that's not available, then I'll just by default link in the companies, as long as their price is competitive, that I've worked with and established relationships with. But the point of this is you can probably increase the revenue of your channel using Amazon links or other affiliate options, and it's something you will probably need to explore on your channel in order to make it healthy at the end of each month, and balance the books, if you like, because there are costs involved with running these channels, as I've talked about. If you're going into it purely for money, you need to be aware of, you will be well down probably for the first few years on costs. Not exclusively, but on this channel we are, because we've done some pretty big videos that have required me to go and buy stuff, a lot of stuff. So yeah, this channel is down on revenue, but it's getting to the stage where it's starting to make revenue, and I'm kind of catching up on the money I've spent. So at one point, hopefully by the end of this year, we might actually be in the green. And it's important to run a channel that is healthy in terms of its monthly revenue. Like I said in the other video, if you're losing money each month, it's going to eat away at you and then take away some of the enjoyment. So you need to consider these kind of things that I'm talking about in order to make your channel profitable, the dirty word, but it needs to be profitable for all the effort you're putting in, so that your return per hour is actually worth doing. And affiliate links for the product you feature is a very important part of doing that. The next way of kind of generating revenue or kind of monetizing your channel, your presence more, is merchandising. So when you have an audience there and you have a kind of following, the bigger that is, the more kind of merchandising and sales kind of opportunities you have. So the classic example is clothes. You know, you could do trainers, sweatshirts, caps, watches, you know, belts, t-shirts, you name it. A DVD, I could do a forensic formula DVD. a Forensic Formula product line, Forensic Formula accessories. The merchandising options are limitless. You know, a lot of people that start businesses up, not even YouTube channels, will go into merchandising just because it's a way of generating money. It's, you know, a very basic kind of sales thing, but it will work, and it will generate you revenue, and it will generate you a margin. So you should probably, if you're running a YouTube channel with an audience, you should maybe consider how you can do merchandising to increase your revenue. The reasons I haven't done it is because there's an overhead in terms of work involved with it, and it's not a work that at the moment I'm interested in doing, and I don't think at the moment I've got an audience big enough to kind of leverage any significant kind of revenue out of it, although it would be part of a bigger jigsaw puzzle. So I never say never, but for me at the moment, no plans to merchandise anything. Finally, another way of generating revenue is what's called crowdfunding websites. So things like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Patreon, websites where you can ask your audience that follow your channel and like it to donate money each month. It might just be a general thing, you know, you can ask them to donate money to support your channel, or there might be a particular video you're going to shoot that needs revenue, that if you want to, you know, you're asking your viewers, if you want me to film this, you're going to need to fund it, you know, like, you know, I'm going to modify a you know, MXR car, so this is the fund for the MX car track car video, that sort of thing. So you have these websites which enable you to ask your viewers to contribute money. I may well be setting something up with that at some point, but I'm just not sure if it's going to make too much difference at this moment in time. But if you have, when your channel gets to sort of 50 to 100,000 subscribers plus, it's probably worth having some sort of crowdfunding link in there, and you will find most channels have it. Again, when you get to that size, you're probably putting more effort into your content for not a lot of YouTube revenue, so you're asking your viewers that value your channel to contribute. You know, 99.999% of them aren't going to, which is fine, but some will. And the ones that do, you can offer them sort of stuff back as part of that contribution, which will help also encourage people to participate. So you have crowdfunding websites out there that you could use and you might want to explore. One final note on this whole YouTube thing. You can get caught up in the monetization side of it. You see it with millions of channels out there that will sell their soul to the devils of cheese to do anything to get views. For example, on the Forensics Detailing channel, a mate of mine was saying, look, Del, you need to get some really fit birds in with the bikinis on it, covered in shampoo over the car, and you can get them, film them with the camera, you know, and then put them in the thumbnails. And if you do that, you get millions of views. Well, you probably would, you know, you probably would. You see other channels that, you know, car channels where they go and get some bird to sit in the seat with the camera staring at their breasts, and they're kind of, you know, accelerating, and the old jugs are bouncing around. They do millions of views. I might do one of those, you know. I don't think the missus will be up for it, but I'll, you know, get one of the models in to do that. I'm joking. You can do things like that. And clickbait in the title, you know, I crashed my car, you know, I got arrested or whatever, and it's all a minor event really, but you're just getting people to click on it. Those sorts of things, you can generate views, but you can also compromise the kind of integrity. Sound like that bloke from Grand Designs. You compromise the integrity of your channel. So I would just say, treat your channel nicely and don't treat your viewers like complete muppets, would be a bit of advice I would give you. You know, you need to think about a lot of these things I've said here, but don't take it to extreme levels where you start doing cheesy garbage things to get views, because I think long term that's gonna do more harm than good, and that's just my personal opinion. Thank you very much for watching this video on the whole YouTube subject, on the things I think you need to be mindful of. I'm sure there's a million and one other things that I've forgotten here. This was a quick like brainstorm for me of what I think you need to do. I'm sure there's some other stuff, but let me know. You know, there'll be a lot of people, I talk to other people who run channels and stuff like that, and but let me know what your thoughts are. If you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel up, you can always reach out to me and I can give you some advice. You know, a lot of times the guys that are starting up have thought about all this stuff already and have got a better handle on it than me, so I don't have all the answers, and you know, my channel is relatively limited, but these are some of the things I've learned over the last 2 years, so I hope it doesn't come across as too patronising. And of course I think some of this stuff you're going to know anyway, but I think it was important to put it out there. So that's my view on how you can go about creating and growing a YouTube channel. And like I've also said before, you've got to keep enjoying doing this. The day when it's not fun is the day when you've got to jack it in. So stay hungry for your, you know, stay hungry and stay passionate and enjoy the process of kind of putting videos out there and communicating with your audience. And I think you will have a healthy, good, fun, successful channel, and I really hope you do. So best of luck with it, guys. See you soon for more great detailing content on the Forensics Detailing channel, and that's it for now. Bye.